Open that gate right now or I'll get you arrested. The words burst out of Cynthia Reynolds, the HOA boss of Silver Oak Estates, as she stood at my locked ranch gate, her face red and shaking like she was about to explode behind her two other HOA. People were nervous, holding papers and cold coffee drinks, looking like they wanted to run away. I stood strong behind my steel gate with my arms crossed, staring right back at her. "No, ma'am," I said calmly. "This is my private land. You can't come. Here." That's when Cynthia totally lost it, stomping on the gravel and pulling out her phone like it was a gun. "That's it. I'm calling the police. You'll get dragged away in handcuffs, you homeless person." Homeless person. I almost laughed. I'd owned this 20-acre Arizona ranch for 7 years. I had the papers, tax bills, and photos of me building the barn with my own hands. But to Cynthia, anything she could see from her HOA was hers to control, even my land that wasn't legally part of her area. She yelled into her phone saying there was a mean squatter and demanding they arrest me right away. Her helper backed away feeling embarrassed, then flashing lights came over the hill. My heart stopped. Was she really serious? Were cops about to take me away from my own ranch? Comment where you're reading from. If you've dealt with HOA bullies, this fight is about to get crazy. I'm Ethan Caldwell, 42. A retired firefighter living on my northern Arizona ranch. It's simple. 20 acres of fields, horses, chickens, and peace until Cynthia Silver Oak's bossy ruler decided she owned everything she could see. Late 50s, driving a shiny white SUV, wearing huge sunglasses, like someone hiding from the law. She'd been running the HOA since last fall, acting like a sheriff in a bad cowboy movie. Trouble started 3 months ago when a builder made a road behind my ranch connecting Silver Oak to the highway. Suddenly, hoe joggers stepped on my fence dog, walkers left poop by my porch, and a kid's dirt bike rode through my garden. I put up no trespassing signs, set up cameras, and built a strong steel gate, but Cynthia didn't care. She snuck a letter into my mailbox saying my ranch broke community beautification rules. Beautification. This was a working ranch, not a fancy neighborhood. I ignored her, then sent a nice letter with my deed showing my land was outside her HOA. She wrote back, "Your map's old, expect an inspection." That inspection was her gate storming trick that morning, feeding my goats. I heard gravel crunch. Cynthia marched up with her helpers without warning, like they owned the dirt under my feet. I met them at the gate, hands wiped on my jeans. "Good morning, Mr. Caldwell," she said, her smile mean and fake. "Ho Rule 14B, we're here to inspect." "I'm not in your HOA," I shot back. Her face twitched. "The road expansion brings your land under our control." "Wrong," I said, holding up my deed. She didn't even look at it. "Open the gate, Ethan." "No, ma'am." That's when she snapped, threatening cops as sirens got louder, dust swirling. Cynthia's anger shook the gate. A police SUV stopped and out stepped Officer Martinez, a guy I'd sold eggs to, and Sergeant Harper, a serious woman with her hand near her gun. Cynthia jumped on them. "Officers, this man's trespassing and won't let us inspect. I'm HOA president. I have the power." Harper turned to me. "Your name?" "Ethan Caldwell. I own this land." I handed over my deed and ID. She stepped aside to look at them. Cynthia tried to push. "Past the gate. I don't need permission." I grabbed the bars. "One step and I'll press charges. Think fast." One of her board members, backing up in panic, smashed my mailbox. Cynthia spun around, angry. "Everyone stop!" Martinez yelled. Harper's eyes got narrow as she gave me back my papers. "Ma'am," she said to Cynthia, "I need to ask you some questions." Harper's voice changed sharp and serious. "You say you have control here. Show me proof." Cynthia stumbled. "The expansion's with the council, waiting for approval." "So no legal power now." Harper pushed. "Not yet, but..." "That's not how it works," Harper cut in. "You can't make rules on private land without control." Cynthia stared, her helpers now stuck to their phones. "Mr. Caldwell," Martinez said, "your deed's clear. You're outside Silver Oak's boundary. No expansions approved." Harper turned to Cynthia. "You tried to get in without permission and filed a fake trespassing report, and your friend damaged his property." She pointed at the crushed mailbox. "I watch over 200 homes remove this man." Harper held up a hand. "You're trespassing. You're lucky he's not pressing charges." Cynthia threatened lawsuits and taking the land. but Harper told her to back off, beaten. She sped off tires, screaming her helper sneaking away. Harper stayed. "She's a bully," she said. "Want to file a complaint?" I shook my head. "Just keep her off my land." She nodded. "Fix that mailbox alone again." I drank iced tea on my porch, horses eating grass peace. Coming back, but at 9:00 p.m., locking the barn, I saw a shadow by the fence, heart pounding. I shined my flashlight. A person ducked behind a bush. "Come out or I call the cops," I yelled. He ran, jumping the fence, disappearing into the dark. My cameras caught him coming from Silver Oak holding a folder labeled zoning request. The next morning I looked at the video. The man looked like Carl Dempsey, Cynthia's loyal HOA secretary. Tall, balding, always wearing old glasses. This wasn't random. It was planned and illegal. I printed the picture, put it with my deed, and drove to Sheriff Logan's office. "Ethan." He said hello. "Drinking coffee." "Cynthia again." I handed him the file. "Caught this guy sneaking last night with zoning papers." Logan whistled. "That's criminal trespassing." He promised to check Silver Oak's entrance videos and start an investigation. I left feeling better, knowing Logan's reputation for being fair. 3 days later, Cynthia came back, this time with Victor Lang, a smooth lawyer. In an expensive suit briefcase like a weapon, "Mr. Caldwell," he said, "I represent Silver Oak. This is a cease and desist for blocking community right-of-way." I laughed. "There's no right-of-way here." Cynthia smiled. "Mean, remove the gate, Ethan. A trail would make everyone's property worth more." "I'm not in your HOA," I snapped. "My animals could get hurt." Lang fixed his tie. 7 days or we file a court order." I glared. "Try it." They left, but I emailed Logan the cease and desist. His reply was quick. "Don't touch the gate, they've got nothing." Next morning, County Surveyor Tom Chavez came mapping my land for hours. "Your gate's legal." He said no right-of-way exists. Relief hit. But that night a knock woke me at 11 p.m. Bat in hand, I opened the door, Cynthia shaking, no smugness. "Ethan, the HOA clubhouse burned. There's a message. Stay off his land." Against my gut, I followed her at Silver Oak. Police lights flashed. The clubhouse's back wing burned. Sergeant Harper showed me the spray-painted wall. "Stay off his land." "Arson," she said. "Gasoline traces. Someone's framing you or fighting for you." Cynthia, shaken, whispered, "I thought this was just a fight." I stayed quiet. Mind racing. Was this a setup or a helper gone crazy? The news screamed, "Arson at HOA clubhouse tied to ranch fight." I got calls, friends, my lawyer, old firehouse buddies. Some cheered, others worried. I just wanted peace. Logan fast-tracked a restraining order against Silver Oak's board. I added motion. Lights, more cameras, bigger signs, then walking with my German shepherd. "Titan," he growled near the west fence, running to a buried bag inside a crowbar, lockpicks, and a folder labeled Ethan Caldwell photos. Maps my land's value and Silver Oak's trail. Plan cutting through my ranch. A typed note read, "This land isn't yours forever, we'll get it." Titan barked. A hooded person ran into the woods. I called Logan, bag in hand. Logan put on gloves, looking serious. "This is spying and planning." He searched. The woods gave me emergency dispatch access and suggested a property lawyer. Sleepless, I hired Jake Monroe, a private investigator from my firefighting days. Dig deep. I told him I avoided town where news of the fire painted me as hero or bad guy. 2 days later, Victor Lang came back with 2 men, a photographer, and a tablet holder. "We're offering double market value for your ranch," Lang said. I laughed. "To bulldoze it for your trail you spied, threatened, burned your clubhouse." Lang didn't flinch. "You're an obstacle, Ethan. This is peaceful solution." I grabbed my hose, sprayed the camera. "Get off my land." They ran, but their SUV turned toward an old developer trail. Not Silver Oak. Jake called that night. "Silver Oak's hiding a development. Contract under a fake company planning to take your ranch through emergency zoning unless you stay living there." The pressure trespassing fire's threats was to force me out. I sued Silver Oak for harassment, trespassing, lies, and trying to steal. At their next meeting, Cynthia reportedly went pale when served. Jake dropped a bomb. Victor Lang was kicked out as a lawyer in Nevada for zoning fraud, Silver Oak's cease and desist inspections, all of it fake. As news turned, my barn burned, I ran. Out Titan at my side, the fire-eating tools feed harvest. Firefighters couldn't save it. Logan came face serious. "Firebomb," I growled. A voicemail later warned, "Sell or your house is next." I called Jake. Get dirt on the board. Money records, everything. He found 3 with fraud records. Carl Dempsey stealing HOA money, they cracked, showing Cynthia's plan, bribing surveyors, making fake maps, stealing dues. I leaked it all to the news. The broadcast, HOA land grab exposed, showed documents, arrests. My burned barn, Silver Oak dissolved. Cynthia disappeared months later. Cynthia knocked broken. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I lost everything." I didn't forgive, just said, "Face your punishment." She left court coming. I rebuilt the barn fireproof with neighbors help. My gate's new sign read, "Caldwell Ranch Est 1964, protected by law and legacy." A 1964 deed hidden in my safe had mineral rights copper under my east acre, worth millions, at a press conference by the barn's ashes.